What's up, YouTube? I am the Vanilla Nerd, and today I want to talk about the animated Little Mermaid film that came out in 1989. Man, what a fun film this is. Can't wait to talk about it. But first, quick spoiler warning. I will be spoiling the entire movie. This is not going to be some sort of spoiler-free review. The movie's like 40 years old, so get over it. Anywho, jumping right into the review, this viewing of The Little Mermaid was really marked, in my opinion, by some harsh internet comments that I heard about the film. Which is to say that Ariel is a brat, her dad is totally right, King Triton, and she tries to get out of a legal contract with the villain, Ursula. And, these comments were just kind of swirling in my head, and they kind of left a bitter taste in my mouth over Ariel, because, I hadn't seen the movie in a while. And so I was just like, oh, yeah, that movie's not that good because it has these weird messages and stuff. And, really this just is another reminder that the internet is a bad, bad place if you let it be. And so none of these comments are real. And I'm sure some of these comments were made in jest. In fact, probably all of them were made in some way, shape, or form to get a laugh, to get a joke. Very few were actually trying to say this movie is bad because of this or that. But it did affect me. And so when I watched this movie, I almost wanted to I almost wanted extra hard to like it and to enjoy it, because I wanted to prove these internet comments wrong. And I'm very grateful to say that it was not hard. This movie is very likable, it is very enjoyable, and so it was very easy and natural for me to like the film. But I think it is interesting to view it from this lens because there were some key takeaways. So the idea that Ariel is a brat, well, I mean, kind of, yeah. She is a teenage girl in this movie, and she does struggle to see past the love of her life. It is hard for her to look past Eric or past the human world, and she ignores other responsibilities and other duties. So, yes, she is a teenager in that sense, but it's not written annoyingly. She's actually quite lovable, and I think that's just good writing, in my opinion. And her dad being totally right, well, yeah, her dad could see a little bit more clearly and could see that it's probably dangerous to go up to the human world and whatnot and stuff. But he had his faults too. He was over here just overriding and not listening to anything she had to say, just overriding anything that she wanted to talk about. He was ignoring what she cared about. She was saying, I care about the human world. And he's like, I don't care. Let me destroy this, and very heavy-handed parenting. And so while maybe not the most subtle, it is actually a really good look at a strained father-daughter relationship, and one that most every parent and child is going to have to go through as the parent realizes that their kid is growing up and stuff, and they need to give their teenager more breathing room, more space to be an adult. But at the same time, they are still a teenager, they are still a kid. So you got to know, you got to find that new balance of how much do you protect, how much do you let them be and let them do their own thing and stuff. And it's very challenging. And so again, not very subtle, but it was handled well in this film. I really like how even after all is said and done, her and her dad still love each other, and that being the central focus and central relationship of this movie was just so strong and came across so well. And I love that about The Little Mermaid and stuff. So, those two first comments just out of the gate wrong. This one was probably more in jest, but the last comment where the idea that Ariel's trying to get out of a perfectly legal contract, she failed in her contract and now she's just trying to get out of her debt, is kind of completely misses the point of the movie. Anyone who watches this realizes this is a stupid argument, because Ursula actively interferes with the contract. She says, hey, you've got 3 days to get a kiss. And when Ariel's about to get a kiss, Ursula's little minions, I think it's Flotsam and Jetsam, knock over the boat. And it's like, well, that's interfering, and that's kind of a problem. And then at the same time, on the third day, she decides to go a step further. She gives herself a little human disguise and then uses Ariel's voice to cast an enchantment on Eric and make him marry her to stop Ariel from getting true love's kiss. And you're just like, wow. Now, obviously, we can't read the contract. We have no idea if this is stipulated in it as fair game or not. But that doesn't matter. The point is, morally, that is wrong. And we know this. I mean, she's a villain. She's supposed to be a villain. And again, this comment was probably made in jest, but it still kind of bothers me that there are some people out here that think Ariel is a bad role model because she tries to get out of a contract when it's like, no, she got into a contract that was over her head. Absolutely, for sure. That is a wrong choice. Don't go to shady people to do loans and stuff, but at the same time, it's like it's not her fault entirely. Like, it's definitely, the villain is still a villain. The villain still did evil, bad things. Enchanting someone against their will and, you know, commanding them is wrong. So yeah, I just think that argument doesn't hold weight. And you know, it's interesting because these comments were the focus of like my viewing lens of how I viewed this the Little Mermaid this go around and stuff, and it made me appreciate the movie even more. You know, for those of you who are not in the know, before 1989, Disney was kind of squandering. It was struggling. It was not being very successful. And The Little Mermaid really was the start of what a lot of people call the Disney Renaissance, or the revitalization of the franchise and stuff. It started off a whole new line of princess movies, and it makes sense. This movie is fantastic. Outside of the compelling story between Ariel and her father, we also have some fantastic animation on the part of the art department and some now iconic songs. Like, every song in this movie is just fantastic. Like, I love them. I guess Poor Unfortunate Souls is probably my least favorite, but like Kiss the Girl, Part of Your World, and Under the Sea are all fantastic and songs that I love and stuff. So that's just great. And then going back to the animation, you know, the bright, vibrant colors are fantastic. They work so well for the film. I love Ariel's three color display, you know, her red hair, her pink seashells, and her green tail. Just, it all works so well and is so vibrant and stuff. And then the animators really had fun playing with her hair underwater. I mean, yeah, it probably would not behave as nicely as they show it to be in the film, but I also just love how artistic it is and how pretty it is to see it move underwater. So kudos to them. So yeah, it's just, for film made, you know, 40 years ago, it's touching. It's got good animation, and it's got great music. It's got everything I want from a Disney film, and so I really enjoyed The Little Mermaid, and I really liked it. So yeah, no, it's a bit of a short review, but yeah, I really liked Little Mermaid, and look forward to seeing you guys next time.